My name's Bobby,
And I'm Sarah.
and welcome to BS with Bobby and Sarah.
This is episode 14.
And this week, BS is going to stand for butternut squash.
Oh, I love that soup. They might have some at Panera right now.
It is officially fall, y'all.
I love fall. It is my favorite season, hands down.
It is so many people's favorite season, and I hate it because I love the summer. And fall, most fall days are overcast and wet, and the days start getting shorter. And so
Yeah.
I think of it as like, putting a little retardant on my happiness.
Aw. The only thing I don't really like is that the days seem shorter because the sun goes down faster, or sooner, I should say. But besides that, really, I love everything. I love the colors. Oh my god, I wish I lived in a place with like more trees out in the East Coast. How about you?
The satisfaction of stepping on all those crunchy leaves.
Oh, yep. It would probably be the only reason I would rake, would be just to jump on them and crunch them.
Everyone loves to romanticize fall with like the leaves and the colors and everything, but depending on where you are, like back in Chicago, that was maybe 1 or 2 weeks, and then those leaves start dropping quick.
All of a sudden, it's just like, oh, they're all brown. And then, like, 5 hours later, oh, they're all on my lawn now.
Also, fall reminds me of going back to school. There's always the anxiety of, going back to school and having homework and all of that.
But I did like going back to school. It was like all the, fall shopping of new clothes and notebooks. And I love notebooks. So I was so excited always for school shopping. And then back to college, like it would remind me of the drives we would go over there, and with like all the fields of like golden dried up corn. It was really pretty.
So you were excited about, not about learning, but about the fashion and the supplies.
Exactly. And then seeing all my friends again. But also, speaking of fall, a brand new gym by my house had this promotion going, and I've been really wanting to join because it looks gorgeous from the outside. I went in, got the tour, fell in love, and I posted it on my stories, which you were like, oh my god, that looks like a resort, because it does. It's gorgeous. It's have this, besides all of like the gym amenities, the treadmills
weight
and shit
room,
like that.
Pool,
Yes.
hopscotch courts.
Indoor track.
Yeah.
They do. They have like a full-on size gymnasium in there. And then they also have like an Olympic-sized lap pool with like 6 or 5 lanes. And then on top of that, they have like a whole other area with like a warm water therapy pool, which is huge. And they have a bunch of swimming classes.
Warm water therapy just sounds like a fucking super hipster way to say hot tub.
No! It's a really
great
gym.
The reason it looked like a resort was because I guess you were in the back, and it was like a huge expanse of land. It was like a beautiful brick paved courtyard in the back. There was like a nice retaining wall, and there were trees back there. I thought you went to like fucking Aspen, Colorado.
Yeah, it really does trick you like that. You don't feel like you're at a gym, whatsoever. So yeah, and then it has like a huge gazebo with tables and chairs and like a little barbecue area, so you can go like hang out there. It has a huge walking trail around it, and then like a little pond with a fountain in the middle.
I want to stop you there. Is this a sales pitch? Are you trying to get me to join your gym? Do you get a discount?
Actually, I do get a month free. Anyone that I refer to the gym, so if you want to.
Okay, DM Sarah Sophia on our Instagram at BS with BS Podcast, and she can try and get you a hookup for this gym.
Absolutely. I'll take some pictures so you can see, because it is gorgeous. It has a freaking waterfall off like these rocks that are just gorgeous.
So I really thought you were on vacation in Aspen.
Yeah, I was not.
When you go on vacations, do you usually go to a resort? Because the only time I can think of when I went to like a resort for a vacation was when I was traveling with my friend Jenny, and we went to Thailand, and we stayed at a really fancy resort because she had points, not because we were paying, the $400 fucking a night or whatever. But the resort had everything. We didn't even have to go into town if we didn't want to. But that's not the way I vacation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you like more the local vibes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I guess I have been to some resorts. I would say I also prefer to do like the whole local thing, but these other couple of times that I have been to a resort, it was super nice not having to, like you said, like you wouldn't have any need to leave the place unless you wanted to for any reason.
So for some of your most favorite vacations, were they resort or what? What are some of your favorite vacations?
Let me think about this because of like the many vacations that I've taken, a lot of them have been just to like back to our hometown in Mexico, like where my family's from. And those have honestly been more memorable than any of like the maybe three resorts that I can remember that I've been to randomly. One of them was in the Dominican Republic, though. That one was awesome. Not necessarily for the resort, but because of like the culture, kind of. I've never felt more beautiful in my entire life than being a thick girl in the Dominican Republic.
Oh my God, I thought you were alluding to the fact that everyone there was ugly.
No! What are you trying to say, Poppy?
Well, when people say like, "Oh, I've never felt more attractive in my life," it's because everyone else was ugly and not because you felt like wanted or
Empowered.
like hit on or whatever.
Gotcha. I know where you're getting at. But yes, yeah, it was just such a drastic thing, out there, big butts are great and my big ass poofy curly hair was amazing because of the humidity and then the beach water. I mean, wait, beach water, ocean water.
That beach water is what your gym imports for their lounging area.
Imported beach water. Yeah, we went in like a rainy season out there, and it was, I think, one of the few times that I've gotten to swim in the rain, like in the pool, and it felt so cool. I was like, man, now almost every time that I'm in a pool, I'm like, oh, I wish it was raining. It just feels awesome.
So you're telling me one of your favorite vacations was you enjoying swimming in a pool and feeling like hot shit because everyone wanted you and your body.
Exactly. And I wouldn't have to do anything to my hair. Seriously, I would just get out of the shower and that's it. That's all I would do to my hair. Nothing. It was gorgeous.
Well,
Gorgeous curls.
my favorite vacation, I don't think it had any of that. It was when I went to Cambodia.
Oh, lucky. Isn't that where they have like those big Tomb Raider looking things?
Exactly. It was like Lara Croft Tomb Raider in real life. Huge cities built out of stone in the middle of the jungle. Some of the temples have like big stone carved faces, like Bayon or Angkor Wat, which is like a UNESCO heritage site. That was fucking cool. The only issue is that I got, well, at the time I believed I was hexed by a Cambodian witch.
What was the hex about?
There's always vendors outside all the temples and the
Of course.
sites. And I bought pineapple on a stick from this one vendor. Like, it was beautifully cut up and carved.
Wait, was it just like a piece or like an entire pineapple on a stick?
It was in. She just took it off the ground, shoved it in a rod, and gave it to me like a.
I mean,
popsicle.
like
No, she
of
she
course.
cut it up.
Okay.
And then she sliced it into four, and all four sections were on a little skewer, so you could easily eat it off the stick. And that's what I did, and because I love pineapple, I ate the whole thing. Like 10 minutes later, my mouth and tongue started burning. And because you're in a foreign country on the other side of the world, you immediately start to think of worse things, like what happened? What's
Yeah.
going on? And for some reason, my mind jumped to, like, this Cambodian woman put a hex on me.
Yeah, obviously. What else? There's no other explanation.
No. I've never felt anything like this before, but basically the pineapple betrayed me, and there's an enzyme in pineapple that, like, breaks down your skin. So the burning
Ouch!
was, too much pineapple.
Oh, so your tongue was like burning off?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so gross and ouchy. Like, ew, David. Gross. Ew, David.
But other than that, I loved Cambodia. It was amazing.
Whoa.
I
Whoa.
suggest everyone go. I would go back, but I had such an amazing time, and I love the memories that I can recall from my time there that I am afraid if I do go back, I won't think so. It won't be the same.
Yeah. I totally get it. I think, well, you would have to go with a different purpose because then it wouldn't matter. It could be like, well, that was a separate trip that was awesome. If you go for like a whole different purpose, then you're focusing on this other thing to accomplish instead of, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like maybe you can be there to show someone around or a different aspect of the island. Is it an island?
No, it's a country that's in Southeast Asia and it's got some borders, but definitely not an island.
In other words, look at a map, Sarah. Oh man. Yeah. I went to a beach once in oh, this was another resort that I would have loved to just like never go out of it. It had horseback riding, like little classes, archery, super hot dudes. And the time that we went, because it was kind of like a gift for my 18th birthday, I got to choose who I went with. So I went with my sister, my cousin Job, and my sister's friend Lauren. And we went to Maeva, which is in Colima, Mexico. This whole resort, it's like all enclosed. It's like a little villa with like cute little houses and stuff. It is so, so cool. And it's all enclosed. It was great food. They had this like palapa, which they called it, which was like dancing every night. And the thing was that it was like off season. So the whole resort maybe had 5 other couples out there. It was insane how like dead it was. But it was perfect for us because we got like all the pool to ourselves, like all the attention from the quote unquote entertainers. So much so that they all conspired to get me drunk so that they could go have fun with my sister and her friend. And we also lost Job for a couple days.
The performers got you drunk because they wanted to hit on Carla?
Yeah, and her friend Lauren. Yep.
Holy fuck. Did they
Yep,
see you as
exactly.
like the wet blanket third wheel?
Well, I also put myself in that position because I was the oldest of all of them. I was 18 years old. Carla was 2 years younger than me at that time. Anyway, the point is that I was the oldest one there, and I kind of felt responsible for them, and they were having just a blast. You know, they were getting like super drunk. I was getting super drunk. I don't know. I think they wanted to get it on with them. But
Okay, let me stop you there then, because
yeah.
How old were these performers?
They were older than me for sure.
Because
they were maybe in their mid to early 20s.
Because if Carla was 16 and there's like 24-year-olds smacking on her.
Oh yeah, it was wrong, but I got so drunk, Bobby. It was the first time I had ever blacked out. The way Carla describes it is exactly how it felt. I felt like a tranked buffalo, like slowly going down and like just fighting it and like trying to get up and yeah, crashing to the floor a bunch of times. I think I broke my pinky toe because the next day it was completely like purple and blue and it hurt like a bitch to walk. And on top of that, I was still drunk. We forgot our passports, so we had to come back to the place, and I sent Carla and her friend to like go get it from the safe, and they couldn't find it because maybe they were also hungover. So I had to like go back over to the room and grab them because they were right there where I told them, but they weren't looking because they were idiots.
Jesus Christ, y'all are a mess.
Yeah. The plane was waiting for us, Bobby. The plane was waiting for us.
Wait.
Specifically.
A plane waited for you to go all the way back from the airport to your hotel to get your passports?
No, I mean like because it was like one of those little puddle jumper planes and then took us to a bigger city in Mexico. And then from there we went back to Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that little plane was waiting for us like for half an hour. It was just a big giant mess, and I should have known from the beginning of that trip because we were all waiting in the wrong
the gate?
That little room. Yes, the gate. So we were waiting, I believe, in gate C, and then like a couple minutes before our flight was supposed to board, I was like, gate C. I was like, wait a minute. If there's a gate C, maybe there's a gate B and a gate A. I'm like, are we even in the right one? So we went to look around, and all our people were already on gate A. And I was like, holy shit. So I just like got everyone. And that one we weren't necessarily late for.
Was this your
was, like,
first
right
time in an airport? Did you just like
No.
walk to the closest gate? Why do you guys go to gate C?
Because it was just like, there was no explanation. This was my first time traveling by myself, basically responsible for 3 other humans.
And so
it was supposed to be a birthday gift. And I mean, I don't think they thought it would be like this this big of a responsibility. I also didn't think that people would be, I don't know, trying to get it on with like the rest of my entire group.
I mean, I'm
But
still more focused on the fact that you guys literally just walked to a gate and it's like, oh, all planes leave here.
that could have been on me where I didn't check to the letter of the gate. I think it just said Mexico, and I was like, okay, well, that's where we're going. So.
Okay.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was crazy. It was so crazy. It was a crazy, crazy trip. I still have great memories from it though.
I was gonna say, I kind of thought we got off the path of favorite vacations, but you brought it right
Yeah.
back around.
Yep. It was stressful, but actually a lot of fun as well.
As a young kid in grade school, another thing that I hated about fall is that Sunday there was always so much football on. I was never into football. I just thought it was like a bunch of dumb oafs like tackling each other, and I think it was also because like at recess all the guys wanted to play football, and
Hmm.
I would have rather played like soccer or anything else. I think I started correlating, football is always on with then having to do chores like going to rake leaves.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But now I don't mind football.
Yeah, I know you've actually isn't there this you go to a like a yearly football, what's it called? What's the big game?
It's called
Oh, Super
the
Bowl, Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl. Yeah, I go to a huge Super Bowl party where it's me and an old neighbor friend. So it's me and 60 Italians watching the
Wow,
game.
that is awesome. And I'm just impressed at how long it's been going. You said you've been going to this since how long now? How many years have you done it?
I don't know, at least 2 decades. Started as a kid.
Whoa. That's just so impressive to me and like super sweet that that tradition is still going on.
Well, aside from that one year that I was in Korea, now I'm
Hmm.
not going to be able to go because I live in fucking Jersey.
You know, there's this thing called cars and trains and planes that you could, get in on and then
You
travel
do
back.
know
Don't worry, they'll get you
you
back
do
home.
know it's just a football game and it's only 4 hours and it's not worth hundreds of dollars and hours of my time.
But Italians,
There's
Italians.
plenty of fucking Italians here in Jersey, all right?
Fair enough.
Speaking of sports, completely random thought, but everyone always thinks about, extraterrestrial life. What
Yeah,
I like to think about is if aliens exist in a
they do.
capacity, um, do they play sports? What is an alien sport like?
I had no clue where you were going with that. That is not where I was expecting.
We probably can't even fathom if aliens have sports what they could possibly be.
Oh, they'd have to be some sort of like really super intelligent stuff. Or do they even, like you said,
Wait,
wait,
why does it have to be intelligent stuff? Because we have really super smart people in the human race and we've been to the moon, and then we also have sports where we kick a ball around.
right, but it's entertaining because, like, why is that entertaining for us? Because it's competitiveness, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
And
competitive.
then, so
Living vicariously through
I think
people.
I think alien races would be way more advanced that's not necessarily a thing for them because they're working together. I think that's the reason that they advance so much is because they work together and so the competitive thing isn't really an issue. So then it's not really fun for them. It's just like, oh, let's see who gets to this thing
I think
first,
you're focusing on aliens that have figured out space travel.
Yes. What kind of aliens are you
I
referring
mean,
to?
if there's another.
Mexicans in America?
I know people think when they think of extraterrestrials, they think of, aliens and spaceships roaming around the galaxy, but, there could be just a planet of beings, and they could be at the same level
Oh,
of
okay.
technology that we are. So
Okay,
they
I
don't have to be
see.
super. like Star Wars, space faring creatures
Yeah, I totally
that
get
have
you.
like warp speed and everything.
Uh,
That's just a fun thing to think about
wow,
right before you fall asleep.
definitely. In that case, I do think they'd have probably some fun things with a ball, kicking around some coconuts, or their versions of coconuts. They probably have golf.
See, now you're thinking
Like
with an
that's
earthling
the
mind. They might not even have balls.
something.
They might have a different shape than a sphere to kick around and hit around.
Ooh, what if it's like alien life on a planet that doesn't have a lot of gravity, so they can jump super high, and then their games are basically like who can jump the highest without exiting the atmosphere or
See, that's what
whatever.
I'm talking about. Thinking if you think the more you think about it, the crazier the ideas can go.
Yes, I like this game.
Well,
Okay, cool. And it makes them not as scary to think that they're just jumping around, being cute, and being like, oh, look, I jumped 800 feet instead of you that jumped 537
well,
feet.
speaking of space traveling aliens, why aren't crop circles a thing anymore? Do you remember in the 90s when they were like fucking all the rage?
I do remember.
I mean, it just goes to show you that the fact that everyone has a video recorder in their pocket and their CCTV everything, and we don't see crop circles anymore, it just, goes to show you it was all one big hoax.
Oh, man. See, I don't think that's the reason at all.
What? Okay, tell me this bullshit. Why do you think crop circles aren't a thing anymore? I
Because
think the aliens
we
got
didn't
bored.
have the. No, we didn't have the technology to view them and to like spread it as far as it did with like the start of the internet and satellites and such like that.
You're wait. Why is that the explanation for why they don't exist anymore?
Maybe they got smart. They're like, oh man, they're finding us out because they have the technology to share our secret circles. And they're like, we gotta, guys, we gotta,
Aren't
we
we
gotta
arg-
calm down.
aren't we arguing the same thing? That they're Oh, I'm saying that they're a hoax. You're saying because we have the technology now, they moved past it.
Yes, and they're a little bit more tricky about it. Maybe they pick sand or they land on water.
So so you think
No?
you think crop circles were just the spaceship's landing? It
I
wasn't
thought
them
maybe
doing
it.
art forms?
Oh, or like maybe like a message, some sort of I've been here or Jenna was here.
Yeah.
It's so stupid, I think.
What? What's stupid? What?
Me thinking like that an alien is just signing their name like, Frank was here.
Oh, I thought you were saying the name Jenna was stupid. I'm like, wow, rude.
No, no, no. It was just like the first thing that popped into my head.
No, I know. I definitely could see that. People have theorized that some crop circles could have been like directional. If you're hopping from planet to planet,
Mm-hmm.
you make a sign, an arrow, go like, oh, go this way. Tom went that way.
Yeah. Tom went that way. Oh man, but they'd have to get super freaking close to be able to see it, wouldn't they?
I think you're thinking with Earthling technology again. Who's to say they don't
Oh, I
have the
am.
ability? Spy satellites can take
Yeah,
pictures of your license plate from like, I don't know, 5 miles in the air. So why can't alien
that's
technology?
true. That is so true. Okay, you've so got me there.
I
Wow,
got you
I
good.
like I like thinking about alien life, except at night because then it creeps me out.
Well, the fact that we made up names for aliens like Tom and Frank and Jenna, um, I think that actually segues perfectly into the game this week.
Oh, really?
Yep, I'm just gonna spring it right on you because
Okay.
I was watching the Great British Bake Off the other night,
Yeah. Uh
and it
huh.
was
Great show.
dough week. They had to make actually no, it wasn't dough week. They used dough so often. It was like bread week. So they were making a lot of dough.
Hmm.
Somehow in my mind that evolved into John Doe. You know,
Yeah.
the placeholder name in English where if we don't know the name of someone, if they're anonymous, we
Right.
just use John Doe or Jane Doe.
Yes. John and Jane Doe.
And
Wait, is it John or Joe Doe? Wait, oh my god, I'm so confused now.
Joe Doe?
Joe Doe.
No, it is not Joe Doe. But I actually learned if there's two unknown people in a party or two anonymous, they're not both called John Doe. The next one's called John Roe or Jane Roe, Roe.
Whoa. Whoa. That is cool information. I didn't know that.
And then another very interesting fact, which I never once thought about, the Supreme Court case, Roe versus Wade, which was saying that the abortion ban was unconstitutional.
Okay.
That Roe was a Jane Roe. It wasn't someone's actual name. It was the anonymous usage for a woman named Norma McCorvey.
Whoa. Whoa. That is really cool.
But back to the game. One thing I was thinking about is around the world, a bunch of other countries have their own version of John Doe. Like,
Ooh, cool.
someone in, I don't know, Morocco is not going to be a John Doe. So this week, the game is going to be me giving you the name placeholder for somewhere in the world, and you have to choose between three options which country this name placeholder belongs to.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad you're giving me the countries, because otherwise I would just say Germany all through. Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia?
See, because I probably wouldn't even know. Is that a country, or is that just a place in a country?
Nova Scotia is a province in Canada.
What? Oh, man, I was thinking the other way. Okay, so yeah, I'm just really glad you're giving me some options to choose from.
I have 10 names here. If you immediately guess the country right, I'm going to give you 2 points. If you only guess it after I list the countries, I'm going to give you 1 point. It's kind of like, whose line is it anyway? Because the points really don't matter. So
Okay.
I'm going to start off with a very easy one for you. The name placeholder Sven Svensson. Which country is that from?
Switzerland.
No. Here are your options. Sweden, Denmark, or Norway.
Oh, man, I said Switzerland, but I was totally envisioning the flag with the cross. Sweden.
Well, Switzerland does have a flag with a cross. And so does Sweden, and so does Denmark, and so does Norway. So
Yep, right on the mark.
So are you sticking with your answer? Sweden is correct. Nice job.
Yes, 2 points. Woohoo.
No, that was only 1 point because you didn't guess it straight off.
Oh, right, without the options. Gotcha.
Next one, Ivan Ivanovich.
Ivan Ivanovich. Russian.
That is correct.
Yes! Excellent. I'm doing a little happy dance over here.
Nice job. Next one, Taro Yamada.
I'm gonna say Japan.
That is correct.
Yes!
Dang it.
I would like to thank the stories of this one girl that I follow on Instagram, because she just was in Japan, and she was and that sounded really familiar to one of the names that was around in her stories. So yay.
Okay, you think you're so good. What about Pete Pompey's?
Malaysia?
Nope. Here are your options. Is Pete Pompey's a placeholder from Dutch, Belgian, or Afrikaans?
Afrikaans.
That is correct.
Oh shit! Yes.
Is it because that was such the awkward outlier?
It was.
Well, you know, Dutch
and I couldn't imagine the other countries saying that. That's kind of what gave it.
Dutch and Afrikaans are related. I worked at a summer camp where there was a South African kid and a Dutch kid, and they could speak to each other. One would speak Dutch and one would speak Afrikaans, and they could, for the most part, understand each other.
That's really cool. Damn.
Next name, Juan de la Cruz.
Ho. Mexico.
Nope. Here are your options. Is it for the Philippines, for Chile, or for Colombia?
Juan de la Cruz. Chile.
It is actually the Philippines.
Oh my god! I forget how much Spanish influence they have.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until I went to the Philippines, but they were ruled by Spain for 400 fucking years.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so true. And de la Cruz, the de la is usually a lot of Spanish. It's a lot of Spanish influence. So I should have known that
Well,
one.
well, I don't want to say all. Most Filipinos have Latino last names.
Yes, that's true. At least all the ones I know,
Exactly.
they do.
You said Chile, but most Spanish-speaking countries use Juan Perez as their name placeholder when they don't know who to say. So that was the first question. You did not get a point. Also, I want to point out all the versions I've said so far have been men's names. Sometimes there's female versions too. But as we
Yeah.
found out, or as we jokingly mentioned in the VIF episode, BS stands for Bobby's Sexist. So I'm only doing the men's names.
That is true. Well, sticking to your brand, at least you're consistent.
Next name, Matti Mikalainen.
Matti Mikalainen. Scottish?
Nope, here are your options. Estonian,
Fuck.
Latvian, or Finnish.
Latvian.
Oh, it was Finnish.
Oh, no. No,
Yeah.
no, no. It didn't have enough letters or consonants.
One thing I've noticed is if a name ends in the sound inen, it's like Finnish for sure. Every Finnish name I've ever seen ended in like nen.
Huh. Okay.
Next one,
Sarah, remember that.
Hongildong.
China.
No.
Damn
Here
it.
are your options. Is that from Macau, Korea, or Singapore?
Singapore.
Oh no, that is Korean.
What?
After 4 straight questions of getting points, you have not scored in the last 3. So let's do
Oh my God.
the next
Okay.
name. Ploni Almoni. Hey, don't laugh. Don't be disrespectful
You
to
laughed.
some culture of someone's fake name.
Ploni Melnobi?
Ploni Almoni.
I don't think there's any way I'm gonna. Oh, wait. No, that would be. Hawaii is not a country, Sarah.
So you can't think of anything? I'm going to give you the multiple.
India.
Indian?
India.
No.
I'm just gonna-
Here's the multiple
yeah.
choice. Greek,
Okay.
Hebrew, or Maltese?
Maltese.
Nope, it's Hebrew.
Oh, son of a bitch. Man, maybe I just got too confident. This is horrible.
I also tried to have them go from easy to hard to like get your hopes up and then crush them at the end.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Well, you are succeeding when you're plan, you little fuck.
Chichico Bendeliani.
Okay, this has to be Italian. Otherwise, I'm gonna go shove my head in the toilet or something as my own punishment.
Get ready to give yourself a swirly because it is not Italian. Here are your options. Is the name Chichico Bendeliani a name placeholder in Nigeria, Brazil, or Georgia?
The middle one.
Brazil? Brazil, tudo bem. Nope, it is from Georgia, the country of Georgia.
Shit.
Chichico.
I was like, say Georgia. I was like, no, but I think I've been using the last one every single time. Son of a bitch.
I will say that my Georgian pronunciation is probably horrible because I did make Chichico Bendeliani sound Italian, but that was...
Very Italian.
That's on you for falling for that trap. All right, here is the last one.
You're such a dick.
You have gotten 5 straight questions wrong. Let's see if we can finish strong. Sirapali Champa.
Okay, maybe that one's Indian?
Good guess, but no.
Okay.
Here are the 3 multiple choice. Sri Lanka, India, which we now know is not correct, or Bangladesh.
Sri Lanka.
It is from Sri Lanka.
Yes! Oh my god, I ended it on a good note.
Sirapala Champa is from the Sinhala language, which the Sinhala are the native ethnic group of Sri Lanka, and I actually combined a male and female name because they only had one name.
Ooh.
Sirapala is the men, Champa is the name placeholder for the women. In the end, after 10 questions and a possible 20 total points, you scored 7.
That's terrible.
So
If this
It's
was a class, I would have failed.
you know what? It's about the fun we have and not the score we produce.
It was super fun. And you know what else is fun? Is me imagining you totally nerding out while doing this research because you're such a nerd.
Oh yeah, I was
I
nerding
love
out.
it.
It was actually rather fascinating because it was just not anything that I thought about before.
It is, yeah, exactly. And now our listeners will freaking know some stuff. You know, they can impress people at parties
I mean, they could, but
if they
will
even get
they?
invited, right? Because they're
I was
probably all
gonna.
nerds.
Wow, Sarah,
a-
we're trying to
in a
retain
game.
listeners, not insult them.
I feel like anyone who enjoys our podcast probably has some level of nerd to them because it's it's who we are deep down inside.
Anyone who has listened this far into it um, is probably going to be like, you know what, that's fair.
But we love you all so 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 much.
We do love you all. If you would like to reach out to us in any way, we have a Twitter and an Instagram at BS with BS Podcast. And thanks for listening to.
BS with Bobby and Sarah.
Now that's been some BS.